Today I'm in Alexandria, Virginia at a place called Kung Fu Kitchen. The owners are from northeast China, from Manchuria. So although they serve a range of Chinese food at the restaurant, they feature Manchurian items on the menu. And Manchurian food isn't a food that's easily available in the DMV. And I would say probably not that easy to get anywhere in the US, right? So yeah, let's go in and try it out. Manchurian food. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna dig into my food now. I ordered 4 of the featured Manchurian entrees from the menu, and I'm gonna start with the crispy sweet and sour pork. And the owner was very careful to say I should eat this quickly because it won't be crispy anymore. So I'm gonna dig in right now and grab some of this crispy sweet and sour pork. It definitely is crispy, and the only sweet and sour pork that I'm familiar with is the Chinese American variety. That's the one that I know best. And if I use that as a comparison, and I haven't had sweet and sour pork of any kind really in a long time, I would have to say that this version is much less sweet, and you can really taste the sourness coming through. So you get the sourness more prominently in this version than you do the sweetness of it. The pork loin, it's not really fatty at all. It's cut flat, so you're definitely biting into a slab of meat. I mean, that's the sensation on your palate. But this is not your garden variety sweet and sour pork that you might be used to from your favorite Chinese takeout place. This is not that. Yeah. And the meat is lean. I would say it's mostly lean. It's not fatty. It's not like it's pork belly or something like that. And this is the first of 3 pork dishes that I ordered. Pork is a favored meat in the Manchurian region. In northeast China, the winters are brutally cold. And so the food is very hearty. It's very warming. It's very meat-based. And so you get a lot of pork dishes, a lot of hearty, filling, rich kind of dishes that fill you up. This is very good. I like the sour flavor on this pork. But let me move on to the other entrees. Okay, next up is the shredded pork with cilantro. This is a spicy dish. And just looking at it, I can see a whole lot of shredded pork and cilantro. And what else is in here? Some green peppers, some red chili peppers. I don't know what else, but it's mostly pork and cilantro as advertised. So this dish is really good. I mean, you get the spiciness, and that really comes through. Yeah, I can see how this would be a much appreciated dish on a cold Manchurian day. It has a meaty kind of presence about it, but it also is very herbally with the cilantro. So yeah, this is a good dish. Meaty and herbally at the same time. All right, next up is the potato, green pepper, and eggplant dish. That's how it's described on the menu. So yeah, you have planks of potatoes, cut up green peppers, and eggplant, kind of stir fried in a slightly savory, slightly spicy sauce. There really isn't, no, there isn't a sweet component. I'm trying to taste if anything is sweet about it. It's not. I would say, other than the spicy flavor of the dish, the most prominent thing about it are the planks of potatoes. And they kind of absorb the sauce, and you got a nice firm potato flavor with the spicy flavor. And these eggplants remind me of how eggplant is prepared in that famous takeout dish that you see in a lot of takeout places. Was it eggplant with garlic sauce? Something like that. But that one is a lot more sweet, I think. That has more of a sweet profile. This is mostly just savory and spicy. But again, not overly spicy. Next up is a Manchurian specialty that is featured on their seasonal menu. It's called honey mushrooms and chicken stew. That's what it is. It has a lot of chicken in here, a lot of honey mushrooms, some wide cellophane glass noodles, and some potatoes. But this is a very hearty looking thing. And wow, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of honey mushrooms in here. And if you're not familiar with honey mushrooms, these are mushrooms that I have foraged before. They usually are found in late summer or in the fall, and they usually grow in clumps. These honey mushrooms are on the firmer side, so they do tolerate being stewed. And in fact, you want to stew them for a long time, because honey mushrooms are best eaten cooked for a very long time. You don't want to just quickly saute them in butter and eat them. You want to cook them for a long time. And so yeah, they have a classic earthy, mushroomy flavor with a chewy texture to them. These mushrooms are pliable, but you can tell that they've been stewed for a long time. So they're very tender and pliable and firm, all at the same time. The chicken in here is bone-in chicken. So what they did probably was they took a whole chicken, cut it up into smaller pieces, and in doing so, there are shards of bones that you have to kind of negotiate. Okay, I want to just taste this sauce. Wow. I was going to say broth, but it's the sauce, I guess, since this is a stew. And all the flavor of those honey mushrooms has infused into that sauce / broth. Wow, it's good. Wow. So this is a dish that you want to get a nice helping of rice with. Have that sauce intermingle with the rice. Have the rice soak it all up. It's almost hard to describe. I mean, I'm going to probably overuse the word earthy in describing this entree or this stew, but in fact it is quite potently earthy. And these wide cellophane noodles are nice and chewy. Ooh, here are the mushrooms. Wow. I mean, honey mushrooms start off life with a straight stalk and a bulbous head. So it's nice and straight, But after being stewed, they all get all curly and misshapen. Now, honey mushrooms aren't in season now, currently, in the DMV. So maybe it's in season in China? I don't know. But it's on the quote-unquote seasonal menu right now, so maybe they're in season in China, in Manchuria. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to finish up my food here from Kung Fu Kitchen. There's a lot of food to finish up. But having had all the dishes now, I can draw some conclusions in terms of their representation of Manchurian food. I'm not an expert on Manchurian food, obviously, and in fact, I don't think I've ever had it. I don't think, unless I ordered some Manchurian dishes, at Chinese restaurants in the past, and I didn't know that I did. But I would have to say these entrees, this Manchurian food from Northeast China, isn't a radical departure in terms of what it is and how it tastes. It does seem familiar in the sense that it's Chinese food to me. I've had a lot of Chinese food, so it certainly fits into that rubric of being Chinese food, of being good Chinese food at that. So yes, it's good. This food is good. And of the dishes that I tried, I would have to say that the honey mushroom and chicken stew is probably the one that I enjoyed the most, because it is a little bit different from the others, and it is the most kind of unusual and different of the dishes that I ordered. Well, that concludes another episode. I hope you liked this one. If you have a comment about what I ate today, leave a comment in the comments section. And if you like the content of my channel and you want to see more videos about mom and pop restaurants in the DMV, please consider subscribing. Well, until my next adventure, until my next episode, I'll catch you then. Bye-bye.